Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Weir, and I gotta tell you, I love life. But when I'm not being a husband, a father, grandfather, an author, or a practicing chiropractor, I'm the host of the television show, Loving Life with Dr. Tim Weir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I like to spend time with people who do what they love and love what they do. Join me and my guests for the next 30 minutes as we help you discover how to love life. Hey, one of the greatest things that we have about living in this country is all of our freedoms and all of our rights. And one of those rights is the right to bear arms. And so my guest today is Rhonda Allen. Rhonda is with the Academy of Personal Defense and Security. Rhonda, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. There are so many probably misconceptions about guns and the safety and all that kind of stuff. Before we get into all that, tell me a little bit about Rhonda Allen and how you got into what you're doing.
Well, I got into it like a lot of people do. I have been a gun owner almost all my life. Shot for the first time when I was 15. Had a firearm, carried it around in my car in the glove box like a lot of people do. And it wasn't until around 2012 that I decided to take a concealed carry class, like everybody does. That's not the first step that I recommend, but that's what I did. And that first formal instruction really opened my eyes to what else was out there. You know, you don't know what you don't know. And once you start realizing that, the more you learn, the more you know you don't know. And so it's just been a snowball since then, and went from a novice shooter to a National Rifle Association training counselor.
Well, and I think that's an important concept for people because we have the gun and knife shows that come in, and I think sometimes people think, well, I'm just going to go buy a gun for safety in my house. Got a gun, and I've never shot it.
Yes, there's a lot of false security running around these days. Have gun and permit will travel.
Yeah.
Again, they don't perceive the need and understand how important training is.
Well, and honestly, between you, me, and the fence post and 20 other million people, if you've got a gun in your house for protection and somebody breaks in and you go for that gun, the lesser of the two trained is probably going to lose out on this battle anyways.
That's probably the case, and many times your assailants or home invaders and these sorts are not formally trained, more than likely, and so if you are, you'll have the advantage. Wow,
okay. So my first step, because I've been around enough to hear this, you got to make sure you get your concealed carry permit. You talked just a second ago about that, but that's not the first step.
It's not the first step that we recommend. First of all, I'll be very blunt and say that the concealed carry instructor market is flooded, and I tell people everybody and his brother and his dog these days is a concealed carry instructor. They have one class that they teach, and that's the only class they market, so it's the only class the public ever hears about. So when they consider purchasing a firearm and learning how to shoot, the only class they've ever heard of is concealed carry, and that everybody jumps on that train, and when they get there, they oftentimes feel overwhelmed or over their head. That class is really for the proficient shooter, learning the laws of the state. When you can shoot, when you can't, where you can go with your firearm, where you can't. It is not a teach me to shoot class, and I equate that to starting school in the 6th grade. And the teacher asks you to write a paper, but you don't know your ABCs yet. So you struggle. And then many times, if they find the right instructor, the right trainer, they will ask them to, let's start over again at square one.
Wow. So here's a lady who wants to have a gun for protection. First step, call you.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
The first step, and I got an email last week, and this is a perfect example of what I deal with. she wrote me and she said, a friend told me about you, and I've decided that I need a firearm in my life. I don't have anything, I don't know anything, and I'm afraid. That was the way she put it. And she said, I'm nervous around loud noises and all, but I do recognize the need. And that's the first step, is perceiving the need, because so many people think they don't need training. So my first recommendation to someone like that is to attend a National Rifle Association Women on Target clinic. That's a national program. They can find one in their area by going on the website, NRA website. We offer those clinics once a month, and that is for the women only, new to firearms. We have all female instructor staff.
Wow.
For one-on-one training and attention. And we just start at the basics. I tell the ladies, if this were a cooking class, I would be standing here saying this is an egg. That's how basic we're going to start. And we really concentrate on safe gun handling, basic marksmanship fundamentals, and the safety rules. And that's a full 4 hours of an introduction. And they have the opportunity to learn how to load and unload, clear stoppages under the guidance of their instructor. And they get to fire revolvers and semi-automatics, one each. We provide all the guns, all the ammunition, targets, eye and ear protection, everything they need, and we do it at cost. It's only $25, and the reason we do that...
No, come on now.
No, we do that, only that program
Sure.
at cost, because we want them to have the opportunity to pull a trigger and decide, is this something that I like? Is this something I want to pursue?
Sure.
Before they start investing money in training in firearms, and because quite frankly, it can get expensive if you're serious and committed. But that is step one, you know. So, and we don't expect somebody to come to the table that doesn't know anything about firearms to already have a gun. Many do, that they didn't purchase for themselves, and that's another topic we can talk about.
So, and because people can, there's a fear that I don't know anything about anything. I'm kind of afraid to go and act a fool and look like a crazy. But they don't have to know anything.
They don't. We don't expect them to. That program is for women who've never touched a gun before, or they're very afraid or fearful, or perhaps they've had some training. My dad trained me some when I was 12 years old in the backyard. I mean, you know, that's not formal instruction.
Yeah.
So it's really for the novice female shooter.
I like this lady. So if you've been talking about, maybe I need to get a gun, or how do I look into it, go to her website. It's right here. Check it out. I'm telling you, she knows what she's doing. Don't change the channel. We have more coming up.
You've been injured. You need someone who understands your injuries. You need reassurances. You need a place to heal. You need Raleigh Injury Chiropractic.
I'm Dr. Tim Weir. With over 37 years of experience, I can tell you experience does matter. Call my office today at 919-790-1332.
Dr. Tim Weir wants people like you to enjoy life to the fullest, and he has written several books. These down-to-earth, easy-to-read resources will help you love life. For example, You're Not Crazy, An Overcomer's Guide to Fibromyalgia. This book has helped hundreds of people. Or How to Reboot Your Brain When Drugs and Therapy Have Not Worked. This amazing book will help you or a loved one retrain the brain. Wake Up and Dream is a wake-up call so you don't sleep through life. Go to www.drtimweir.com and order your copy today.
Having trouble sleeping at night? Do you toss and turn all night? Do you have leg or muscle pain? Dr. Tim Weir's Relax Formula is an all-natural supplement with no additives or preservative. It's a unique combination of vitamins and minerals that allows the body to get a deep sleep. Here's what real people are saying about Relax.
Last night I took my first dose of this, and I had calm legs for the first time, probably in months and months.
So, if you're not sleeping right, get Dr. Ware's formula, and you will have an amazing night's sleep. Go to relaxformula.com and order today. Relaxformula.com. That's relaxformula.com.
I'm here talking with one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. You didn't even know that.
I do now.
Herman Cain. Thank you for what you do for all of us.
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit just about life, because we're losing our value of it.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your viewpoint on how to love life more.
I think when the founding fathers wrote the Declaration of Independence, and when they said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they did it in that order for a reason. You can pursue happiness all you want to, as long as you don't tread on somebody else's liberty. You can pursue liberty all you want to, as long as you don't tread on somebody else's life. And that includes the life of the unborn. That is a gift from God that no man should tamper with.
Right, right. So, Americans, I think, have lost hope. Is there hope?
There is hope, because there's a God.
Yeah.
There's always hope,
Yeah.
because there is a God. Even in the most hopeless situations,
Yeah.
if God is there, there's always hope. Now, that being said, a lot of people are giving up. But you see, God can't help you if you give up.
That's really true.
And so I happen to believe that there's a lot of hope. A lot of people have gotten discouraged and disgusted. But I remind people of when this country first started, it started on the hope of a few who passionately believed in this new nation. It's going to take that same passion by those of us who get it in order to get this country back on the right track. And then when you got the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, I told a young man who called my radio show one night, he was frustrated about what was going on. He said, "What can I do, Mr. Cain, to help?" I said, "Go get the Declaration of Independence." He did. He found life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I said, "Here's what you can do. Keep reading." Because it says when any form of government becomes destructive of those ideals, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish. We have the right and the responsibility to change things.
We got some choices to make.
We have a lot of choices to make, and that's the good news. We have a lot of choices to make.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend.
Appreciate it. You know, one of the most important attributes you can have in your life is an attitude of gratitude or thankfulness. I always tell people this: your attitude of gratitude determines your altitude in life. I'm always amazed by people who say, "I want more money, I want more money, I want more money." And then when God starts shoving money your way, you kind of look the other way and you're not grateful for it. I've taught my kids, my little boys, every time they see a nickel or a dime or a penny on the ground, pick it up and say, "Thank you, God." Because as you're asking for money, God keeps throwing a little money your way, and you look at it and say, "Oh, it's just a penny, I don't need a penny." And all of a sudden, God's looking at you and saying, "Well, I thought he wanted money." Always have an attitude of gratitude. When's the last time you looked at your husband or your wife and said, "Thank you for all the stuff that you do around the house," or "Thank you for the job that you do, for providing for the family"? When's the last time you told your boss, "Hey, thank you so much for providing a great place for me to work. I love my job. I love this place. Thank you." One of the greatest things that you have in your life is that ability to say thanks. Look for opportunities today. Even get a yellow pad or a piece of notebook paper and write down what I'm thankful for. And begin to list them, even if you have to start with something as simple as the shoes I'm wearing, or the clothes I'm wearing, or the house I live in, or the car that I drive, or living in one of the greatest countries in the world, the United States of America. Write it down. And as you do that, you're going to see your life change. As you begin to be grateful for where you are, for what you have right now, God's going to move on your behalf. The whole universe is going to move on your behalf and take you to another level. Your attitude of gratitude determines your altitude.
Dr. Tim Weir wants people like you to enjoy life to the fullest, and he has written several books. These down-to-earth, easy-to-read resources will help you love life. For example, You're Not Crazy, An Overcomer's Guide to Fibromyalgia. This book has helped hundreds of people. Or How to Reboot Your Brain When Drugs and Therapy Have Not Worked. This amazing book will help you or a loved one retrain the brain. Wake Up and Dream is a wake-up call so you don't sleep through life. Go to www.drtimweir.com and order your copy today.
Having trouble sleeping at night? Do you toss and turn all night? Do you have leg or muscle pain? Dr. Tim Weir's Relax Formula is an all-natural supplement with no additives or preservative. It's a unique combination of vitamins and minerals that allows the body to get a deep sleep. Here's what real people are saying about Relax. Since I've been using Relax, I don't have any severe muscle aches to speak of, like I usually do. The Relax didn't knock me out. I just got very relaxed and drifted off.
I hear this every single day. Dr. Weir, I'm having trouble sleeping. So I came up with this formula. I call it Dr. Weir's Relax Formula. Now here's the side effect to this. You're gonna sleep so soundly. You're gonna notice a change in muscle aches, and immediately when you drink this, it begins to absorb. Do yourself a favor and order some today. RelaxFormula.com. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode of Loving Life. You know, there are men and women that are actually probably right next to you as you work or as you play or as you go to church who have been a part of the military, and they've given up a lot to do that. And my guest right now is Bill Warren. He's the president of Combat Warriors. Bill, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell me a little bit about now how you got involved, how this all started.
About 10 years ago, I had a friend who worked in Fayetteville, and he had gotten up with some special ops guys, and they needed things to do. So he said, well, I've got some people that have some land in Wisconsin. Why don't we take some of these guys deer hunting? So he called me and said, hey, how would you like to donate? I said, well, that'd be fine. I said, let's do that. So my partner and I sent him some money, and we did that for 2, maybe 3 years. And then we decided that we have a duck camp down in Englehart, North Carolina, and why didn't we just do it there instead of sending guys to Wisconsin? So about 8 years ago, we decided to have our first event for what we didn't know what we were going to be. And we did not know a name. We didn't have an idea. But we knew we wanted to do something to help these men and women who give their time, their efforts, and some give their lives, and their families also do a lot for us. So we wanted to pay back. We wanted to give them back something.
We were talking just a couple minutes ago, because not everybody who goes off to battle, it comes back missing a leg or missing an arm, but that doesn't mean they're not hurt. How do you work with, how does this help them?
Well, what you have, and this is one thing we decided the first event. Now, we did plan that. We knew there were guys that did not have a physical wound, but mentally they had been wounded, and that they needed to be at these things as much as that guy that had been wounded. So what we decided when we were drawing up our thought process of what we wanted to do, that we were going to have anybody that had been in combat. Not a combat zone, but in combat, when you're out there in the thick of what's happening.
And I like the name because it doesn't mention, I mean, it doesn't have to say you're wounded or you've been hurt or anything. but you've been in combat. And I think for the average person who watches Netflix or the news, have no idea of what really happens.
Well, that is true. You can look at all the TV, you can look at all the movies. What these guys go through are real. It's a very real deal. And you'll see it. I had a major sitting there one day, and then I had right beside him was a special operations soldier. Right beside him was a Green Beret. And they started talking. And I knew it was time for me to go, because you could feel that want of privacy. So I left. When I got back an hour later, that major looked like the weight had been lifted off his shoulders. It was just unbelievable what those two guys did for him.
And because I'm telling you, we always look at the warrior, but there's a group of people behind him who gave just about as much.
Well, that's what we decided also, that we not only could do things for the warrior, but we had to do things for the families. You know, we take warriors hunting and fishing because they need that.
Yeah.
But we do other things. We have helped widows getting their kids back to school by giving them financial assistance. We've helped pay for houses, their house payment. We've made some car payments. So not only do we take them hunting and fishing, when we have a situation develop, we try to help them if at all possible.
You know, there's a tremendous sacrifice that they've given. Because we sit in our nice warm houses watching TV and having a steak dinner with no understanding that somebody paid for that freedom for us to be able to do that. So it's incredibly powerful what you guys are doing. I talked to Mr. Culpepper about what people can do. What would you recommend people do?
Well, you know, we can always use volunteers. We have 20 events this year. 5 of them or 6 of them will be family events. We just support, but the one thing that we really need, and you always hear people say it, but you know, we need money.
Yeah.
We need donations to help these people out. To watch the families tomorrow will be so rewarding. You know, a lot of people say, well, you guys are all volunteers. And we say, yeah. And then, you don't get paid. We said, yeah, we do. Watch tomorrow. Watch those kids and watch those families react with their warriors. It's amazing. And it just really makes you feel like, hey, this is what it's about. This is America right here. And it really just, it touches you.
It's huge.
Huge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want you to do something. I want you to join me. I'm going to give $100 towards this organization, and I'm challenging you to do the exact same thing. You might have to give up a meal somewhere. You know, you might not be able to go to the big restaurant and have a big meal. Take that money. Take $25. Go to this website here. Make a donation right now. I'm telling you, greater love hath no man than this, that he lay down his life for a friend. You don't have to do that. So why don't you volunteer? Why don't you just donate some money so that somebody else can provide a safe haven for these people? It's been awesome being with you. Don't change the channel, because I'm going to be right back.
Having trouble sleeping at night? Do you toss and turn all night? Do you have leg or muscle pain? Dr. Tim Ware's Relax Formula is an all-natural supplement with no additives or preservative. It's a unique combination of vitamins and minerals that allows the body to get a deep sleep. Here's what real people are saying about Relax. Since I've been using Relax, I don't have any severe muscle aches to speak of, like I usually do. The Relax didn't knock me out. I just got very relaxed and drifted off.
I hear this every single day. Dr. Weir, I'm having trouble sleeping. So I came up with this formula, I call it Dr. Weir's Relax Formula. Now here's the side effect to this. You're gonna sleep so soundly, you're gonna notice a change in muscle aches, and immediately when you drink this, it begins to absorb. Do yourself a favor and order some today. RelaxFormula.com.
You've been in an accident. Do you go to your family doctor, a chiropractor, or a physical therapist? If you think it doesn't matter, you might want to rethink that. You want someone with experience in treating car accident injuries, and only car accident injuries if you've been in one. You want Raleigh Injury Chiropractic. Raleigh Injury Chiropractic, 5821 Falls of News Road in Raleigh.
Dr. Tim Weir wants people like you to enjoy life to the fullest, and he has written several books. These down-to-earth, easy-to-read resources will help you love life. For example, You're Not Crazy, An Overcomer's Guide to Fibromyalgia. This book has helped hundreds of people. Or How to Reboot Your Brain When Drugs and Therapy Have Not Worked. This amazing book will help you or a loved one retrain the brain. Wake Up and Dream is a wake-up call so you don't sleep through life. Go to www.drtimweir.com and order your copy today.
Well, I hope you had a good 4th of July with your family. I know we did with ours. It's all about finding things around you that you love to do. I love this country for what it stands for. And let's get behind what's going on and make America the best that it can be. Go to my website, drtimweir.com, my Facebook page. Would you join that and get other people to join that? It's at Loving Life with Dr. Weir. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, those other ones I don't spend as much time. I love Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm letting that out of the bag now. I just love it. So join me on Facebook, join me at my website, and join me here next time. And until that time, keep loving life. There's a 4th of July close here. That's what I'm talking about, the 4th of July. We're in North Carolina. Sometimes you come out here and there are actually native little monkeys. If you look up in the tree, you can see them.
Come on, Dad.
I told you. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Loving Life. Listen, life is all about blah, 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 blah.